but when I rev it a little bit, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Where do we begin on this one? First of all, I want to tell you, if I sound a little congested, a little sick, it's because I'm a little under the weather the past couple days. I didn't really plan on doing anything to the car. That's why previous to the last video that you watched, wasn't very many videos coming out. Car's running. I'm sick. Nothing to film. Yesterday I was tuning a little bit, changing some injector data around, and then I look up and I see that the oil pressure gauge showing nothing at idle. And I'm over here thinking, I'm like, the car has no oil pressure at idle. It could either be like one of like many things, but two of the main things that I'm thinking is either A, the sensor is bad, or B, she done. One of those two things. So what am I gonna do about it? I'll show you. Alright, so I picked this bad unit up from Advance today. Full oil pressure gauge. Now, if this motor is weak, we're gonna know pretty quick based off of this gauge right here what it shows. If it's weak enough to like drop below like 8 or 6, whatever the threshold is for the stock sensor, this will show us that. And generally, if it is that low at idle, it probably is a good chance that it's low like that all the time. And if this motor is smoked, well, rest in peace. And it kind of sucked it wasn't more exciting than that. So yeah, well, let's get installed in this gauge. So far, so good. Not gonna lie to you guys, seems kind of just fine. Pressure. Need a bitch. Got it. Welcome back, YouTube. Today, more modifications. It's midnight. It's gonna be raining for the rest of the weekend, so I want to get some things done. I got a second AM wideband I'm gonna put in the passenger bank, and also I got a boost gauge I want to put in the car. I got that oil pressure gauge that's just flopping around down there with a zip tie on. So we're gonna fix all that up because right now it's rat rotty and I don't like it. Zip tied oil pressure gauge on my dash is like the most Joe Dirt thing I've ever done. So we're gonna be installing some gauges and yeah. I got my second wideband for the passenger bank and boost gauge in. Boost gauge, they're all wired in, all working. But now I'm going to wire in the wideband straight into the ECU. No, I'm not thrilled about pulling this thing out. Alright, we got the ECU out. Just got it laying on the floor here. We got this connector here, and this is where we're going to be putting in all our connections for the wideband. And also I got some other things I'm going to pin in for the future, like a flex fuel sensor and etc. So yeah, let's get that done. Alright, so I got the connector here for the 𝘦𝘭𝘪𝘯𝘬𝘴, and here's some pins we're going to put into it. Obviously we got 𝘬𝘩𝘢1, that's for the main wideband. We're going to use analog input, one right next to it for the second wideband. That is usually used for the MAF sensor, but there's no MAF. I'm going to pin CAN L and CAN H for my perfect tuning gauge I got on the way, and then I got digital inputs I'm going to pin in as well. First one being for the flex fuel sensor that I'm going to be going with when I go E85. So, alright, so I'm just making some of my connections here. I got the pigtail, all the pins in. Please ignore my handwriting. Just there to indicate to me what everything is, so I'm not getting confused. Got analog input 1. That is my passenger bank wideband, and then here's the regular 𝘬𝘠. Redid that connection. One for my flex sensor. I just put in some plain inputs in case I wanted to wire in maybe an oil pressure sensor or something like that down the road. Alright, I got the ECU back into place, so the harness is hooked up. I'm going to go ahead and start the car and make sure it still starts and I didn't mess anything up. And then I'll go ahead and show you guys what to do for dual widebands. Alright, so here is the key when it comes to 𝘬𝘠 correction for each bank. As you can see here, bank 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, bank 2 is 5, 6, 7, 8. Bank 2 is the driver's side, bank 1 is the passenger side. So this one is on, this one right here is on the passenger side, this one right here is on the driver's side. That in my ECU is considered 𝘬𝘠1. That's like the main wideband, and this is the one that I just wired in the analog input. So as you can see here, I came in here. Obviously this one's did change O2 in, but this one's analog in 1 now. So what I did was I pulled up this engine and sequential settings, and just as a refresher, looked at the firing order. So I went ahead and saw at 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I came over here and put 𝘬𝘠2 in each one of the ones that were 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 𝘬𝘠1 for the rest.